Good afternoon. Welcome back to Leadership Stories. I'm going to take you back to the year 1884 and tell you a very interesting story. This is the story of four men in a boat. In 1884, in the month of May 19th to be precise, four men set off in a boat or a yacht from Southampton in England to Australia to deliver the yacht, which had been built in England. The yacht was skippered by an experienced sea person, Tom Dudley. He had two other crew members, and the youngest member of his crew, the fourth person, was a young cabin boy by the name of Richard Parker. So the four set off in good spirits and hit Madeira in Portugal. And on their way to Cape Town in South Africa, to round off, to go past the Cape of Good Hope, they encountered severe seas, or heavy seas as we say. And the yacht unfortunately sank on July 5th. As the four people abandoned their yacht or abandoned ship and scrambled out in a dinghy or a lifeboat, they could grab 2 cans of processed turnip. It's all they had. And they had no water. This was dire straits. Circumstances were very difficult. Over the next few days, they survived by carefully rationing out the processed food or the 2 cans of turnip. There was no water, so they subsisted by drinking their own urine. They managed to capture a turtle swimming by and got scraps of meat. But by July 19th, their condition had deteriorated to the extreme. And the skipper, Dudley, had to make a decision as to what to do next. They would soon perish. Amidst the thirst, the young cabin boy, Richard Parker, probably sometime in the night, on the 19th of July, drank seawater. He might have drunk copious amounts of it in his thirst and fell violently sick. And he suffered from severe diarrhea and could barely move. The skipper of the boat and his crew exchanged glances. Should they invoke the custom of the sea? In those days, the custom of the sea said that if in circumstances like this they run out of food and water, lots would be drawn, and one member of the crew would sacrifice himself in the interest of others. But no such lots were drawn. It was assumed Richard Parker was going to die, and so on the morning of July of 25th, he was pinned down, and Dudley thrust his knife into the boy's throat and killed him. Gruesome as it may seem, the 3 remaining members lived off this poor boy, stripped his organs, drank his blood, and survived for the next several days. crew of the Mignonet had lost one of their crew members. A few more days went by. The corpse rotted. It had to be thrown overboard, and the three now did not know what to do. A few days later, luckily for them, they were spotted by the ship Moctezuma. And eventually, to cut a long story short, they were rescued, taken back to England, and they assumed everything was fine. But was it? As they made England, the harbour master at the port where they landed had to record that one of their crew members had died at sea. So he informed the British Admiralty, who informed the police. And the police placed the crew members under arrest, and this went to court. Dudley and his crew were not alarmed, because as far as they were concerned, they had invoked an ancient custom of the sea. British law did not see it as such. The Judge Coleridge, eventually called this first-degree murder and said that a person could not be killed without his or her consent. And this was gruesome murder. It shook England. It shook the judicial community. Eventually, a 5-member panel of judges sentenced Dudley and one of his crew members to 6 months in jail, while the other walked free. And this case became a landmark judgment that you can't take a life, whatever the circumstances might be. Think about it. This case had deep implications on the ethics of the workplace, assumptions that we make, rituals of the past, and eventually what kind of leaders we are. As for Richard Parker, he is remembered in history as a 17-year-old boy who probably changed the law in England. Thank you.